Oh, thanks.
Most welcome. All right, we are live. Hello and hello everyone. Uh, Thank you so much for joining. If you would, when you join in, please let us know where you're tuning in from, and then that way I can get an idea of how well these are working. In today's market analysis, we're going to start off with some precious metals, and then we're going to be moving on to cryptos, and of course, AI coins and gaming coins. In that order, I believe we'll see transition occur between these markets. Well, maybe not so much gold and silver, but certainly from the main cryptos, the top 30 type thing, all the way down to the lowly meme coins. We're going to be analyzing them, taking opportunities. I think that we're going to see meme coins kind of take off here a little bit. The entire culture that is coming on board with cryptos right now is very social. And as a result, they are sharing memes about all of the Lamborghinis they're going to buy. So, as a result, because that's the state of the world, we'll likely see the meme coins actually take off here pretty soon. And yeah, we'll analyze the whole thing. And I'm not going to give you any financial advice. Obviously, you got to do your own research. If you need some help, though, let me know. I'm more than happy to meet with you and help you set up your trading strategies. And of course, you're welcome to join us every single morning, 7:15. Well, Monday through Saturday, 7:15. And yeah, and if you want the link to come and join us in the in the studio, and then that way you can chat with me live as we're doing this. Feel free, because after we're done doing the live session, we actually carry on. We usually carry on afterwards to discuss. No, we discuss higher level discussion around trading. So if that's something that's interest of you, if that's something of interest to you, feel free to reach out. All right, let's start off. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here. I keep saying I would like to get through this nice and fast, and I think I'm going to be reformatting this. I might not do. Oh, look at that. I might not do uh, all of these assets every day, only because I'm not actually invested in a lot of them. I'm simply bringing them forward because they help us recognize what's happening in the market. So let's go ahead and just move some of this stuff out of the way. There we go. All right. So for starters, silver. It's consolidating right now as it has come up from this low that we've experienced since the election. Couple of trend lines. One is definitely out. We're definitely out of that one trend line, but I would expect us to continue to drop. Yeah, maybe not. I mean, it's. I say I expect it simply because of the renewed faith that is now in the US dollar. And if we zoom out, we can take a look at there's a lot of room to go down. And in fact, we might see it come back up and find some resistance here before heading back down as well. But that, yeah, because of the sentiment that is right now towards the United States, I think this is likely going to continue a trend downwards for a while. Gold, same idea. In fact, you can see that this retracement here was nice and deep. That even already this bull run, it's actually calling for another retracement. Depends on what happens. I mean, these next 60 days are going to be very telling, especially when you've got people like Biden that are just trying to mess up the whole show by going to war. TSX. Oh no, it wasn't. It was Ukraine. Yeah, with U.S. ordinances and U.S. and British ordinances, by the way.
No, it was
Uh,
Trump.
yeah, right. Yeah. So TSX right now is still hovering from its forming its high. Well, yeah, yeah. Well, it's just doing its thing. I mean, the Canadian dollar is so tied in. The Canadian economy is so tied in with the U.S. economy. Uh, this. this is going to be this is going to follow fairly similarly. It's going to follow a lot of the movements that the United States market's doing. And so here we have the United States, a little bit of a pullback here. Looks like it found some support at that 43,000 level. It's likely to aim for that all-time high and retest some new levels. But into the crypto 30, new highs. Look at that. We broke out of that little pennant there as the rest of the day went on yesterday. Actually broke down below and then now shooting up. So that's a good sign. It means that some more liquidity is coming in, and yes, it is being reflected in the prices. Obviously, Bitcoin now pressing upwards against that 100,000 mark, peaked out at $98,417. Little bit of a pullback so far today, but I mean not much. We're sitting right now at 96,900. Yep, and you can see that my squiggly line here again, I just because I put it here doesn't mean it won't happen. I believe that we are going to see a little bit of a dump, and I think that that dump will probably be 20 to 30% when the time comes. When that happens, only the market knows. Ethereum, though, we had some consolidation occur over the last little while, and within the last 4 hours, actually, we've been seeing that jump. There was some talk this week already about Ethereum not doing anything. Why is Ethereum not doing anything? How come it's not forming new highs? And well, to be honest, I'll tell you why I think that's the case. I think that the utility of Ethereum is actually waning from a certain standpoint, simply because we are headed into we're headed into this wealth transfer where cryptocurrencies are just going to be used very widely by a lot of people. Well, you can't use Ethereum at in a retail capacity. And but it's so functional. It does everything, and look at all of the coins that are backing by it, and it's just wonderful. Yeah, okay, I get it. I get that there's a lot there, but the only thing that's really there are investor instruments, and the economy is not governed by the investors. It's actually governed by the small business owners, middle class, local merchants. Those are actually the people that drive a nation's market. And as a result, using Ethereum for things like, hey, would you like to buy this pack of meat for $20? That's great. Here's a $25 gas fee. It's simply not going to be something that we use in real day-to-day life. Okay, so I think that the reason why it's latent is because people come into the ecosystem buying Bitcoin and they're already hit with some transaction fees. And then they take a look at Ethereum and they see the transaction fees are $20. Doesn't matter what you could send $20. You're going to get a $20 transaction fee. They shy away from that. But at the same time, you also have investors who are coming in knowing that, yeah, there are going to be fees. I mean, if they go to a stockbroker, there are fees every single time they purchase. So they get it. They get that that exists, and now they're ready to get started. And that's why I think we've seen that jump here in the last little while. In part, obviously, another part of it is, how many ETFs and paper contracts are now being signed, and so the BlackRocks and Vanguards can manipulate the price. Doesn't really matter. Fact is that we should be seeing this movement come up, and we're gonna shoot for this all-time high. I think is what it is. Yeah, we want to shoot for that all-time high, but that's actually quite a ways, isn't it? Yeah, almost 5 grand, 48.62. So we got a ways to go. There are a few more points of resistance. We got that long-term trend line that's also there. So give it some time. But this one here is definitely, especially once those people coming on board start realizing that they can throw $200, $500 at something and see it 20x. That's when Ethereum will definitely be picked up over the next little while. But again, folks, this is a bubble. So after the bubble crashes, what's your exit strategy? Well, before the bubble crashes, rather, what's your exit strategy? make sure that you have something set in place to get out of this before you're left holding bags that are like 90%, they're like 10% of their value. You've lost 90% of their value. ADA, a little bit of a retracement coming off of that 2024 high, sitting at 78 cents US at the moment. Definitely a small retracement off of this. It's basically bouncing off of the top side of this little pennant that got formed last time. But this price point here has been a major point of interest in the past as well. So it makes sense. It only makes sense that they would do a little bit of a retracement, find some support. Folks, this could still even bounce off of the top end of this zone right here. So if it comes down, it may very well, oh, you can see my production quality is just terrible. Look at my green screen bleeding through. But this movement here does call for a retracement to come back and test this area from a technical analysis standpoint. So if I was you, I'd be buying and dollar cost averaging as it goes down. Remember, dips are for buying. XRP, this one is still consolidating since it reached this high here on November 16th. It has really, really been consolidating. The price has been getting tighter and tighter ever since. Not to be discouraged for those who are holding on to it. This is still a good asset. It's in position. This is the kind of thing that we see happen right before big moves. So that pennant there, very good sign. Modic, video gaming. This is Polygon. This is a video gaming infrastructure coin. It's been swinging around back and forth. You know, if I was in front of the computer 6-7 hours a day studying trading, I would definitely grab some of these. I mean, these are nice little movements. Just find yourself that consolidation zone, trade back and forth between the 2 points. You know, you could be adding 10% to the size of your bag every single time. Oh, let's click away. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good what you can do with this. Right now, I wouldn't be selling though. This is for me, the way that I'm doing this is that I'm doing more long-term holds on these. And I say long-term, I don't mean that in a Forex context. Forex, you could hold on to a trade for a year. Whereas with these here, using the same strategies, I'll probably only be holding on for 3 to 4 months, and that's when I'll be selling out and letting everybody else take the bubble up to the top. Solana. Solana is consolidating since its breakout, and we can get that going here with a little box. There we go. So that now is going to become a pivot point. So either the bottom of that or the top of it will provide resistance or support accordingly, depending on what we're doing. Right now, the top is providing the resistance and the bottom is providing support because we're inside this little consolidation zone. Looking to push towards that all-time high here fairly soon. And again, this is supposed to be at $500 to $1,000 here by the end of this cycle, and it's going to be driven mostly by memes. Doge. Doge comes out of that descending pennant, descending triangle, and it's not really doing anything else. Really just consolidating, bouncing up and down, not really creating any new highs or lows. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Yawn. Yeah, this here, I believe Doge is going to be $1 in short order, especially with the way that it's being talked about. Talked about using it was talked about a couple weeks ago using it as a liquidity token for the Department of Government Efficiency, which is being headed up by Elon Musk. Amazing, eh? Like, imagine that the guy who actually built Starlink, and is looking to hook everybody's brains up to it. He even said just like a month ago, like, wouldn't it be something if we networked all of the minds of people? Wouldn't it be something? Yeah, well, Neuralink and Starlink are his companies, and everybody's excited about him providing services to the government in this Department of Government Efficiency, and it's like, okay, yeah, you know full well that all of the subsidies that he's been receiving up to this point are just going to keep on going under Trump. So yeah, they're definitely doing a great job. You know, it's funny because the freedom lovers, the people that talk about how much they like freedom, it's really all talk though, because you know, they say that, oh no, we're going to resist the vaccine and we're going to you know, be anti-vaxxers and we're going to you know, never chip our arms or anything like that. And it's like, yeah, and literally they voted for the guy who wants to chip your arms and the guy who brought forward the vaccine. Like the jab father and the technocrat extraordinaire won the election. The of the voting populace that said never comply. So it's just hilarious, the cognitive dissonance. So here's let's move on. Tron, bouncing off the top end of the trend line here, pushing up against this all-time high. Likely see the more of this action continue. Love to see it actually go out and beat that high. It would be awesome because then it's guy's the limit on this one. Injective token consolidating a little bit here after this nice big bullish movement that we received after the election. This is not to be, we're not to be concerned by this at all. Lows are not getting lower, highs are not getting higher, but this little, yeah, now actually we're inside another little trend, aren't we? But this downward motion is, you know, only got so much energy left to it right there. It's coming up to the end. Actually, you know what? I can see now that we're forming a mini trend right in here. Look at this channel. Right? So now it's a matter of, this is a 2-hour chart. So each bar represents 2 hours of price action. Likely, I like how I really like, I'm kind of, you know, gonna toot my own horn because, you know, sometimes people don't do it. And so this here is beautiful how it's lined up with my squiggly line that I made. When was this? Back last week. So kind of neat how, you know, there was that pullback, went down and retested that, and now is following my little orange line. Whether that continues or not, we don't know, but it definitely has found support off of the $22 level. Likely to continue up. Oh, I had in my head that this was Tron for a second. No. We switched to injective, Paul. You're good to go. Onwards, 3 protocol. Still down, nice and low, way down here, down at the bottom. Sitting at 7.9 cents. Anything under $1 is supposed to be on sale. So this one here is great program. 3 protocol is all about making sure people have access to cryptos without having to submit their digital IDs. Oh, I mean, I'm sorry, their government IDs to do their trading. So that's cool. Woo, a little bit of a pullback here over the last day. Now definitely rallying back. But this finding support was to be expected. I mean, there's been some major movements over the last little while here. If we take a look at the macro, let's go to the daily chart here. You can see just how many times this price point here that we're at now has been, you know, it's been support and resistance in the past quite a bit. In fact, I'm going to mark it here so you can see just where. So here's where it was, you know, providing some resistance. Here it was providing some support, resistance, support. There's more support here, right there, right there. So yeah, you can see this area has been very, very popular with the price action. So yeah, well, hey, let's just see where it goes from here. WooCommerce. Woo, the coin, is definitely one of the favored ones, especially coming into this next phase of utility where people are wanting to trade peer to peer instead of always trading on exchanges. BitTensor consolidating really at the moment, which is good. We're sitting under $500, so it's a good time to buy. This is expected to overtake Ethereum, and Ethereum is supposed to go to 5,000. So if BitTensor goes to 5,000 or more at this point, you could be 10xing your investment. So even though this is pretty expensive at $500 a coin, you can still get in. still get in and realize some nice profits. Desync. This one here, this is shaping up to be beautiful. If you remember, for the longest time, I actually had a descending wedge, or a pennant pattern being formed. But now this thing is really taking on its own little form. It's let's go back to the daily chart here so we can see. Just look at how well this project has done. This is not a pump and dump thing. This is a infrastructure build. We've got a lot of work to do, and we want to be relevant for 5 to 10 years. That's what this project is. Honestly, the more that I'm diving into this, the more favoritism I'm having towards Destra. And I'll likely be, as a lot of these other assets start to profit, I'll likely be throwing a lot into Destra for the remainder of the bubble, just because it's the gold prospector's best bet. That's the best way I can describe that. All right, 0 by 0 is up 10% today, but as you can see, lots of swinging back and forth simply because of the low price point that we're at right now. But we have definitely another good project here. This one ties in well with desync and more focused on the privacy of people's AI than the storage of their data. So yeah, that's what's going on. 0 by 0. Look at that. It's bouncing off of this this pivot point very well. Like, it retraced into it. It's coming back out. It's gonna be nice. I gotta get my other tool. Here we go. So yeah, this zone here is where it's retraced beautifully at this shelf. This is a great location here to add lots of liquidity. Don't be surprised if it comes back down. This is an AI coin. Might not see this really take off for another week or two. So we may see, because this high that got formed right here, this high did not beat out this high, right? So it could very well continue to move its way down, especially since this low ended up being as low as it was. So let's not be too alarmed if it continues to go down. It just means that it's going more on sale just for you. Because if we take a look at this, like right now it's at 13 cents. Well, if it comes down and touches A again, this point here, that's 8.3 cents. So coming back to that is going to be great. This is the time to dollar cost average your way down. This low is lower than the previous lows back over here. So we're actually stretching this support a little bit. And so, the tendency for price to continue these trends is there. Might not. We might be at that shelf right now, and it might just go ahead and zoom up to the all-time high next. But again, still, I think it'll take a couple of weeks for people to start filtering down those projects. ARC, nice big movement coming out of this old consolidation range here over the last day. We can see, oh, that was Tuesday. Yep, Tuesday, Wednesday. Need to go back to the 2-hour chart. There we go, that's better. So yes, after that movement that we received, a little bit of a retracement. Looks like it's found some support at the 4.5 cent level. Wonderful to see. We're going to be, this one here, I've got a couple positions, and both of them are doing very, very well right now. The one that I took at the end of September, that one is, oh, I did it again. There we go. At the beginning of September, where's my ruler? There it is. At the beginning of September, I made a purchase, and right now up 81%. And then, of course, I made another one, more sizable purchase here. And this one is up in 40 days, 153%. So doing very well with these. Excited for the continuation. Link. Still consolidating. Look at this. We've been consolidating with Link since, yeah, well, basically since August. And this is wonderful to see. It's just so consistent. Whenever I see the big pump and dumps, it's just it's just discouraging. It's like, yeah, you don't even know if it's going to do it again. With this kind of price action, we can see that these guys are here for the long term. They definitely want to make a good one. I'm going to go ahead and just look it up on CoinMarketCap because there's, what we've been talking about lately is, don't just look at the charts. We want to, there's Link AI. We want to look at other numbers as well. And so, okay, so the market cap is actually quite low compared to that full dilated volume. So right now, there's actually quite a bit of a disparity between the two. I'm not concerned about it simply because these AI coins, they are going to 20x. They are going to 30x. And if one of them fails, then there's probably going to be 10%, maybe even 20% of them will miserably fail. And that's why you don't put them all in one basket. That's why you diversify it, so that when those losers lose, it's okay because you've got winners that more than pay for those losses. So, looking closer at the numbers, it's actually not that strong as some others. But the what I do like about it, and again, that's from a valued perspective. It's currently, the people do not have as much faith in it as the company itself has allotted. So yeah, this yeah, I'll get into that another time, possibly in behind on the private calls. But this here is still, for me, I'm not discouraged because it's not a pump and dump program. If they wanted to pump and dump this, they would have done that by now. When it opened, that's understandable. That happens all the time. It jumps from 4 cents up to up to 16 cents right away, and then a couple days later 19 cents, right? So, oh no, it topped out at 20. Yeah, 20, no, must have been more than that. 26. Yeah, the high. Let's zoom in. What is that high? What did it jump up to? 21. No, it looks like it's 29. 29 even. 29 even. There we go. Crosshair. So yeah, it went from 4 cents to 29 cents right away. But that's technically not a pump and dump, because normally speaking, those pumps and dumps are like, you know, I've seen 100x occur in a day, and then it just drops out of nothing, right? And so this project here, having its consistency, tells me that they're committed. They're wanting to make this work. And so the numbers are a little bit weaker on CoinMarketCap, but again, I'm not too concerned because it's the AI bubble. 01 Labs, this triple bottom is definitely holding lots of support for this whole consolidation area, because since hitting this bottom and it coming up above this consolidation, it has not come back down. In fact, it formed that all-time high coming out. So very, 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 very encouraging. 01 Labs. Wild. Sorry, World. I keep saying wild because WLD, it looks like wild. And I think it's going to go wild here pretty soon, considering. So you can see here, this gradual climb is actually getting wider as it goes up. So the more volatility there is, the more there is people loading up, right? So every time it goes down, that smart money's buying. And that's what we're going to do as well. We can see over the long term just how much growth this has yet to bring it back up to that all-time high. Sitting at 2.2 cents right now. That all-time high is at 12. That's good news. I'm just going to get this to be all-time high. There we go. Next, PAL. It's just hanging out there after that big dump that it took. It's coming back up, and it looks like, yeah, well, I'm in a little bit of profit right now. I don't know why it's not marked. Oh, because it went below. There we go. So yeah, this one here is in position. I'm ready for it to take off. Let's see how it's doing. I know that it was starting to weaken on here. PAL AI. It was starting to weaken, and it's still holding it pretty good. 134 mil against 164 mil, so yeah, it's uh, it's okay. It's all right. Still in the game. And next we got Far just hanging out, doing its thing. It's been like this for a long time, folks, and nothing wrong with that. You know, it's this is exactly the type of let's just see here. Yeah, this is exactly the type of thing we're going to see. Gaming coins are going to be coming in later after the AI coins. So I'm in position. I'm ready for that. You last thing you want is to panic and move around at last second, because then you're missing out on a lot. So you always want to buy, a week, at the very least, a week before everybody else. And you do that by recognizing trends. What is it that what is it that we're trending into here? Well, this is the great reset. This is a wealth transfer. We're going from time-based commodities into data-backed commodities. And that is driving forward industries, five major industries that have barely even they didn't even know, we didn't even know what those industries were in the 90s. Well, some of them. But we got synthetic biology, there's nanotechnology, all of the real world assets that go with it. We've got blockchain, quantum computing, AI. All of these things are emerging markets. And whenever the markets are going down, you want to find emerging markets, because money doesn't disappear. It simply transfers from one form into another. And that's why this is all coming up to be. We are transferring all of our assets from one form into another. That's what's happening. This isn't a recession. This isn't a depression. The money doesn't disappear, folks. It just goes from one form into another. And that's what we're teaching here. We want you to be able to take advantage of this wealth transfer in as much as you're able to. So if you need some help with that, let me know. Be more than happy to meet with you and get you set up, show you how to press the button and make some money here over the next few months. This is going to be a bubble. It's going to pop, and I'm going to be selling all of my cryptos, all of it. My exit strategy is actually to convert this into uh, the it. My intention is to convert the wealth, most of the majority of the wealth, back into gold again after we're done. IMX. IMX is, yeah, well, it's just sitting there consolidating. We've got this movement here that came in on September 23rd, but that's been retraced back down again, finding support off $1.05, sitting at $1.35 right now. That's a good increase from that low. It's just going to be continuing onwards. IMX is definitely one of the major ones one of the major gaming infrastructure coins that are out there. There's one actually that's not on here, and I want to add it because, um, again, it goes back to the gaming thing. So, Super is a Superverse, it's called. Let's grab it off of, yeah, let's just grab it off of the crypto feed. Oh, and I need more. I need to watch more. Okay, so let's get rid of something here. What am I going to get rid of? I'm going to get rid of, let's not watch, I don't need to watch. Oof, I don't know. What don't I need to watch? You know what? I'm not gonna watch Doge anymore. I'm not gonna buy into it. It's great, it's fine, but I'm not gonna buy into it. I would actually prefer to put Super up here. Superverse is a major gaming community. Now, this is a community. These people are insane. How organized they are at being able to market new launches, new programs, new projects to that community. They are vibrant, and they are definitely in position to dominate the gaming industry, just because of how expansive this universe of this community is. So this is the way of the future. Building community is the way of the future. This is how businesses are being built now. And the old ways of doing business are actually very much becoming archaic again because this is a transfer. We're moving from time-based commodities into data-based commodities. And so this one here is in position. You can see that's finding some resistance here at this $1.25, $1.50 level. There's lots of movement here, folks. Lots of opportunity. I definitely should have. When I first heard about it, I definitely should have got. I just simply wasn't there in that space in 2023, dealing with other stuff. But look at this. It's 7.3 cents back in October of 2023. If you would have been there, you would be up 16 times already. And that's before the bubble. We are not even getting started, folks. Yes, this is a huge market. There are tons of people in there. Superverse, it's in the billions. Let's go see. Oh no, it's not in the billions, it's in the millions, sorry. 618 million up against 1.2 billion. So it's pretty heavy on this. Right now that fully diluted value is pretty heavy. But the thing is there's no other community out there as vibrant, as active, as communicative as super in the gaming world as Superverse. So yeah, and Ilio trades here. This guy here, he's a major influencer in the industry. He's got, he's actually he's actually showing people like exactly which coins he's in. He's got a great community, and he's saying that this Superverse is easily a 20x to 30x community. And he's gone through these bull runs, like these bubbles, for well since the beginning of crypto. So he's very uh, yeah, he's very excited. There will be there. He's saying the same thing. Look, he's saying that forecasts Bitcoin will hit 120,000 by January, but warns the sell the news event could drop prices below 100K. I agree. I think that whatever price this ends up becoming, there's going to be a 20 to 30% drop afterwards. Shoot, the thinking that I have when it comes to Bitcoin is actually that it could drop down back into the 80s, where we just left. Not saying that it will, but there is that potential. There is that possibility. Anyway, Superverse. I got in a little bit. There's a little bit that I put into this. Again, it's gaming, so it's not going to happen. It's not going to have the same. It's not going to have the same timing as a lot of these altcoins, Modic, Solana, so on and so forth. Injective token, even, I think, is going to experience more growth than Super at first. But once Super gets up and above, this resistance here, which I think likely happen before the end of the year, that it will definitely have no problem coming back to that all-time high at 4.6. $4.68, $4.70, somewhere in there, and then onwards. This is easily has the capacity to be a $20-$30 coin, and that's where we get that 20x from. All right, Sundog still going down a little bit. Yeah, it's whatever. It's a meme. Bonk. This one here is doing really well. It's just where are the communities going, folks? When they first join up, they want to join communities. They want to talk to other people. They want to socialize. That's the big driver. And everybody knows that the more that you can socialize through this, the more you've got some camaraderie and you're getting more of a wider range of opinions on what's going to happen. And so, yeah, that's what's happening right now. People are coming into the Bitcoins and the Ethereums and they're stacking their bags and they're immediately going to meme coins because that's the community. Community is building this. The community systems that are building this are the backbone of this entire operation. People do not do business with cryptos, they do business with people. And, especially when we take a look over the last 4 years, how much social distancing has given people a craving of connection. And the meme industry is exactly how that's going to occur. That's literally how it's happening right now. NPC, a little bit of a pullback, finding some support here around the 4.3 cent level. It is an all-time high of 6.7, and so already, even if you were just to come, because you missed the first run, right? So maybe you don't want to miss the next one. You'd be getting 54% just coming back to the all-time high from where you are right now. It's wonderful. There you have it. Market analysis. 8:11. I'm trying to get this done before 8 so we have more time to chat. But there we have it. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. May have any comments, questions, queries? Well, we'll see you tomorrow morning, 7:15 for market analysis. We're going to shut things down and work as a private group now. So thanks a lot, everybody. Have a good day.